Welcome back to Pause to Unedit Yourself, a podcast where reflection meets transformation. I'm your host, Anushka, and each episode offers you a chance to press pause and explore bite sized insights and soulful reflections from my own journey of introspection, in the hope it will help you too on your path of personal evolution. Whether you're feeling stuck, seeking clarity, or simply wanting to expand, my hope is that this becomes a space of inspiration and deep remembering, guiding you to evolve from within and uncover the infinite potential that lives inside each and every one of you. The last few weeks has taken over, and to be honest, I haven't had the time to focus on creating content for podcast. And as I sat down this week to record, literally everything started to fall out of sync. I had this enormous wave of pressure that came over me and need to record a podcast for this week that everyone is waiting for it. I know, we've built a community and there's so many people who look forward to the episodes every week. And I really didn't want to let anyone down. And the truth is that each episode is a thoughtful, curated reflection. And in this sea of content, my intention is that my voice and this podcast, it really gives you that pause for reflection. And when I release an episode, it's really based on an intuitive feeling. What somebody somewhere out there needs to hear that week. So I started to question why I was feeling like this. Why did I have this block this week? And it's true, I haven't been to the gym this week, and normally the gym helps me to regulate my nervous system. And I also had some unexpected news, been dealing with some life events, and there have also been things out of my control, such as my garden fence falling apart. And so, all of this, my energy is scattered, which means I'm off balance. And so, what happens in this state is that we end up losing focus. And I really asked myself, what is it that I wanted to do? And in reality, the answer that came to me was actually nothing. I just wanted to be. And I had learned from a dear friend of mine, Komi Yogi, who is an extremely knowledgeable hatha yoga teacher and educator, who taught me the importance of our energy, our prana. So let me share with you uh, a bit of this learning. And so when we are in a state of balance, our energy, it's our prana, or you might have heard the term chi, it flows effortlessly. And when we are unbalanced, that prana is blocked. And that is when we can experience things like depression, stress, low mood, irregular breathing. So, in order to make decisions that come from a place of balance, what happens is we need to feel centered. We need to feel confident and have that clarity of mind. And all of that energy has to be collected into one single thought. To do that, you have to come back to center, to be. So let me ask you, when was the last time you gave yourself permission to be? Sit in the present moment and just enjoy it, the stillness in the moment, not doing anything other than just observing it. And you see, it's that art of simply being. It's actually both like the toughest and the easiest task at hand. But in a world of constant motion and striving, embracing that simplicity of existence, it can seriously feel like an uphill battle. But yet, when we surrender to the present moment, we discover a profound ease that transcends effort. We're seeking that balance of our energy. And in this world of abundant choices, we often find ourselves so overwhelmed by decision making, constant decision making, struggling to navigate through so many of the different options available. And as human beings, our brains are not wired for this endless amount of choice that we're faced with every single day. Think about Netflix and all of these um, places where there is a ton of content, but how often do you actually just sit there for half an hour just scrolling endlessly, trying to find something to watch? It's too much. Our brains are not wired for that. I've actually stopped watching Netflix and other content because it's just too much. And you see, all of this overconsumption and overstimulation is what causes us to disconnect from ourselves and the world around us. We're told more is better. We're living in a world where everything is like more, more, more. But in actual fact, it is the root cause of the dissatisfaction, the confusion, and even paralysis in our lives. And so this paradox arises from this conflict between what we desire, for variety, and cognitive limitations of our brains of processing so many different alternatives. And so as a result, we find it challenging to even discern, to even see what truly matters. And this ends up leading to a sense of dissatisfaction and an inability to find contentment amongst the abundance of choices that we're faced with. And so that is the predicament. Too much. And so today is a reminder that you're not alone. We're all facing this dilemma. And it's your reminder to give yourself permission to press pause. And there are many ways to press pause and to take a moment to recalibrate your mind, your body, and your soul. Because, when you take that time to pause, to rest, to retreat, and to reconnect with yourself, what happens? You move from chaos to clarity. And you will find that you have more control and more fulfillment in your life when you find your balance between your inner world and your outer world. So, what did I do? I have pressed paused just to be. And my to do list, I threw it out. And my to do list is relax. And as I was sitting in the garden, I did some barefoot walking in the garden to ground myself. It's been beautiful summer's days this week. I had a realization as I was taking in the stillness, and it was where else do I need to be other than here, other than where I am right now, enjoying this present moment with the bird song, with the sunshine in this eternal now. And it's so, so easy to forget this beautiful present moment because we're so prone to living in the commotion of our mind. And so, whatever that you are searching for, whatever that you are looking for, and know that in your off balance state, you're not going to find it because the right doors won't actually open for you until you are the version of yourself that's supposed to walk through them. So today, take a moment and ask yourself, what does a press pause moment look like for you? And a bit of encouragement. Remember, you are enough. So don't feel guilty. Take time to press pause in your day and make it a habit to find your enough. I am certainly learning how to fall in love with the pauses. It's a journey. And I invite you to choose life from the pause this weekend. Try it and let me know in the comments how it went. So put yourself first today because you matter and allow yourself that precious moment to simply be. Surrender yourself to the flow and really, really appreciate this beautiful gift of life. And whilst I paused for reflection, I've also decided to make my episodes bi monthly. And this will give you time to pause and reflect between each episode. And it will also give me time to create from a place of reflection and response, which is what my intention is. And maybe this will change in the future. Who knows? Let's see. But for now, I'm going to make it bi monthly. And, if you want to connect in between the pauses, I do post on my Instagram at Press Pause Movement. There's also a newsletter which I try and send out on a monthly basis called Pause Perspective. You can subscribe to it, and I do send out updates and news. And also, as part of my creative journey and my love for music, I have curated playlists on Spotify for all your press pause moments. So do go and have a look and see what takes your fancy. Everything is on the link in the description below. So, thank you so much for tuning in this week. And as always, I use these episodes as reminders for myself, like mini guides that you can refer to whenever you need a check in with yourself for a moment of recalibration. So, feel free to save them and please do share them with someone who might need to hear them. And please do share your comments and feedback too. It will help me to know what resonates for you and what you would like to hear more of. See you in the next episode.